reality ends here.
Well, hello again everybody. Lord Frickalena is back, and this week we will actually rather have a brief video comparing my latest ones, because fine, we actually don't have much to cover unlike what I expected. I have expected an actual opening cinematic for Eternity event, just like the ones we had for patch 9.1, 8.3, 8.2 and 9.2. But well, this time for some reason I could not understand, Blizzard decided to give us a cool trailer instead. I liked the editing of the trailer, by the way. It was just not what I expected. So I found two interesting details from the trailer. One confirms that we will have a cinematic ending for Undying Encounter, and the other, well, actually kind of confirms that Zoval would win, or at the least we will have a Legion style ending instead of a Battle for Azeroth one. Why? Let us find out. Let's start with Undying cinematic. Well, apparently after the fight ends, Undying will remain dominated. So this means, considering Undying will be saved, nonetheless, that something, or should I say someone else, helped him to release from the grasp of domination. Who could that be? Maybe the soul inside the blade, Arthas himself. Yes, months ago we learned that the soul that dominated our Undying actually belonged to the Lich King himself. So, if Undying would not be freed after the fight ends, maybe we would see Arthas' soul leave Undying's blade and help Undying to free himself from the grasp of domination. And, considering we still have zero to no information about the last three bosses, maybe we would see Arthas at our side during the epilogue of the raid. So, now we get to the Zoval part, and actually how the expansion might end. I think this trailer gives us some huge clues about the ending cinematic itself. Let us check them out.
Your reality ends here. Death claims the soul of your world. All that you see, all that you know, will be undone.
Well, this line should sound familiar to you. Where did we hear it for the first time? During the very beginning of the expansion.
Death comes for the soul of your world. All that you see, all that you know, will be undone.
So, I guess you noticed the big difference. Death no longer comes for the soul of Azeroth, because apparently Zoval would claim the word soul for himself. Before we dive into it any further, if you remember, last week we talked about how Zoval works as the champion of death itself. So, through that, not the so-called death we met to see in Shadowlands zones, and Zeret Mortis claims Azeroth, its price. Now, it would seem my worst fears would not come true, the BFA ending. I can easily assume we would see a Legion-sized and Legion-styled ending. What do I mean by it? I have three ending options for you. Now, the first ending I have in mind is about our theory in this channel. The first ones being the Void Lords. For more information, please check those videos out around the corner or in the description. Now, in this ending, Zoval would succeed in his mission and use the energy of Azeroth's World Soul to open a pathway into the void to free his masters. But to his shock, the masters he sought to save became the sinister beings of the void, and Zovaal would meet his end. And, just like Hilginot said,
5 keys to open our way, 5 torches to light our path.
and
At the hour of her 3rd death, she ushers in our coming.
after 5 caves have turned the sigils of the covenants, and 5 torches were lit, the pillars of creation, the pathway to void would finally open. Also, this will be the 3rd death of Azeroth's Lord Soul, first with the thundering, second when Sargeras stabbed his sword into Sirtus and, strangely led up to a chain of events up to this point, and Zovaal's relentless attacks. The second ending I have in mind also involves Sargeras and the Well of Eternity, but we should consider this ending out of context of our first one's theory, because actually, even without the first ones being the Void Lords, everything has set in motion since Legion that would eventually end up with the old gods being released, and Luzot would raise his brethren from their sleep. Because after the 3rd death of the World Soul, the chains of domination upon the old gods' prisons would finally be shattered, and again, here you have the Black Empire. About Sargeras and the Well of Eternity, well, that red star in the sky is supposed to be opened once again at some point. At what better time for Sargeras' return? To be honest, I believe Sargeras and Zovaal were allies at some point to end this flawed design of the universe, but we all know, by canon lore, Sargeras has fallen in love with Azeroth's Word Soul. In the Warlock Order Hall, the Tome of Blighted implies that Sargeras fell in love with Azeroth. Soon after the War of the Ancients, Sargeras had a vision. The Well of Eternity imploded once again, but this time it dragged him down to the very core of Azeroth. He was there for only an instant, but in that moment he saw Azeroth's slumbering Word Soul, and in that moment the Word Soul opened one eye and gazed at the Dark Titan. He was enraptured. Since then, the eye of Azeroth's Word Soul has not been far from his thoughts. He commanded the eredar who forged the scepter to crown it with that lone, wondrous orb. Next to it, the eredar placed 2 Nathrezim wings, a testament to Sargeras' conception of the World Soul, corrupted, demonic, and most importantly, his. So, in this scenario, Sargeras would stand against Zovaal and destroy him. But as I have just said, after Zovaal's brutal attacks, the soul of Azeroth would fall victim into the void. Now, as you can see, in both endings, Zovaal loses, and so his role in the story brings it to an end. I still cannot understand the community's cringe level of decline against the jailer. He was a character meant only for this expansion and as a stepping stone into future lore. So, just let him play his part in the story. Daddy Denatrius and his Nathrezim will be with us for years to come, unlike Zovaal. We would not be the ones to strike down Zovaal, rather, we would fall at the end of the encounter and something else would defeat Zovaal, which in my opinion makes a lot of sense and would prevent a BFA style ending. No matter what happens, the void is coming. I don't know if you are interested or not, but the void arc was always meant to be included in WoW, and with the next expansion, we may finally have an introduction to the theme of the void. And expansions beyond, Azeroth will still be in the center, and with the hopefully reimagined world, we will discover the nature of the void, the secrets of the first ones, and the lies of the titans. But the Well of Eternity, well, we will talk about it another time, because this video has already lasted way longer than I expected. So, thanks for listening. If you liked my content, clicking that subscribe button and bell would be appreciated. As you see, I do speculation videos each week, and as a new channel, you can help me reaching more people. See you next week.